Prime Minister Modi was there and gave a speech and made a commitment, signed an agreement for India to help sustainability in a lot of different factors. And I know the university sustainability also includes social education, helping people and so forth. So that wasn't my planned speech this morning, or opening, but it is an area that I'm studying, and our business school in Texas is now working on those types of courses that students can take and then learn about just what to do. And it covers a lot of areas that apply to you. So I thank the Dean for mentioning that today. And so I promise not to talk so much on that one topic later on. But I guess the next step down, but thank you for welcoming. I am adjusting to the time zones, the heat, and all this. Is my first time in India, the first time in LA, but I like it so much. Dr. Tanwar has made me feel very comfortable with my room. And, oh, is the food okay? Is the sleeping okay? And I said, yes, I'm doing good. So, thank you. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Professor Joseph. Now I would like to request Dr. Anand Sharma, Head of the Department of Management Studies, for his vote of thanks for this inaugural session. Dr. Anand Sharma.
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, let me once again welcome Professor Joseph from Texas, all across the world, I should say, to teach us some lessons on entrepreneurship, how to run a business, how to run a newly set up business, how to run a new startup. So thank you very much, sir. And this topic, as Professor Verma also said, that next Gyan course will be on sustainable development and something related to sustainable business. So certainly this is, as sir said, that this subject is close to his heart, and he has got one paper also. So we are sure that this Gyan course as well as next Gyan course, these are going to be very, very useful for upcoming budding managers, CEOs, economists of this country, of this region. And I can see young, smart ladies and gentlemen who will be driving the Indian economy as a leader. So as in the first Gyan course, Honorable Vice Chancellor said, that every bit of this course you will apply in your practical life. So we are thankful to the coordinator, Dr. Sunita Kamal, that she has found this such a beautiful topic, startup and entrepreneurship, and that too case-based learning approach. In my morning class, I was talking to students about the case study of Big Bazaar. Sir, one of the Indian entrepreneur, he set up a big business house as Big Bazaar in India is a retail outlet. So I was talking to students that how if Kishore Biyani can start up, go for this success. Each and every student of this region, this university, they can set up one or another venture. So we are thankful that Dr. Sunita has made this program very interesting, especially when it is case-based learning approach. Every day we will learn one or two cases, real-life cases, how an entrepreneur started, what problems he or she faced, and out of those problems, what were the learning outcomes, and how that challenge was converted into opportunity. That is the key area. So I am sure we all will be benefited. We are thankful to our worthy Vice Chancellor in absentia that he motivates us all, and he always approves whatever good programs we propose. So we are thankful to the leadership of this university, Honorable Vice Chancellor and Registrar, who approves all these programs. We are thankful especially to some of the management department students, PhD students, PG students, who tirelessly work behind the scene. On the scene, on the front, it is fine, but on the background, what hard work they do to make these programs successful is very important. So I would like to welcome them for their hard work under the leadership of Madam Sunita Tawar. So we are thankful, and I am sure that they will learn a lot during this process. That is more important, because during this process they learn organizing skill. So because all the programs are student driven, students make all these programs successful. So I am sure that these students, the organizing team, they will make it successful. And we are thankful to those students who have enthusiastically registered to learn how to become an entrepreneur from different departments, not only in management and commerce, all across different departments. I can see from BVOC department, there is a young guy, undergraduate BVOC program, so he is participating. So we are thankful to all the participants who have enthusiastically registered, and certainly after the program, they will show that how this program has been benefited. So thank you all.
Now I'd like to request Professor Rosa to start the session. Kindly arrange it, Amit.
Jay,
Who was the law student, the student in the legal program? You mind raising your hand? Did I hear you say you were from the area of law?
Mike.
Okay. Let me. I'll go ahead and start. Again, my name is Roger Conaway, and I appreciate. I thank you for being here. This course is designed to, as we talk about entrepreneurship, to make sure that what is entrepreneurship, who is an entrepreneur, is clear. Because we hear that word everywhere today. It seems like somebody does this, or someone over here maybe a new startup, a new company, and they call it an entrepreneur. So I want to make sure that you don't necessarily just remember what I tell you. I want to guide your analytical thinking so that you can understand what is the concept of entrepreneurship. So I'm going to spend today and tomorrow talking about what the latest thinking is, what is the profile of an entrepreneur, and I've got a couple of readings for you that, so that you're thinking about it. In the booklet that we will give you, it'll be a hard copy, bound booklet. I've included a lot of readings in it, so that, especially if you're a PhD student, you can skip all the numbers in some of these articles, but go through it and you can think about entrepreneurship. So what we will do is talk about that conceptually, latest definitions and where we're all going, but we're not going to keep it abstract. I want to first consider some well-known cases of entrepreneurship. We'll start with Uber. I like Uber. If you don't, that's fine. I've used it in Mexico, the U.S. I've used it all around. And in fact, we were in Delhi and used Uber with a guy I was with. So it's one of those startups that's fairly new. It started in 2010 in San Francisco. The idea was conceived a year or so before. Then it just was exploded and it's caused a lot of global conquerors. Why did that happen? Why was it? What made it successful? It didn't create new technology. It didn't create new infrastructure. It's using existing technology, a smartphone. It's using existing infrastructure, taxi. So we want to look at that startup and talk about it. And I'll occasionally do teamwork. I'll talk with Dr. Tom Moore about maybe groups of 3. I'll put something on the screen and say, could you 3 meet together? And we may do that who you're sitting next to, or if you want to sit next to someone next time. But then I'll just have brief reports from each team because I want to hear what you're thinking and so forth. There's a big startup called Airbnb. Have any of you heard of it? It's a rental service online that if you travel somewhere, Europe especially is real big, or in the U.S., and you want to rent a place, you can go online and you put in your own profile, and you find out exactly all about the owner, what the accommodations are. It's really nice. And then you can rent that online. There's another one in the U.S. that's popular called Vacation Rentals by Owner, or VRBO. And VRBO is a competitor of Airbnb. But those are 2 startups that have just been enormously popular. And we're going to look at one like Tesla and some others, and just to consider what goes on, and there's hundreds we can pick from. But then we want to switch over, at least by Friday or Monday, to some popular Indian startups and just see, most of them are online. And I've done my research, which you probably know well, what we should consider. And we're not going to look at made-up cases, except one called that I'll have you read about Kumar, who wants to become an entrepreneur, but he's really doing what his parents want him to do. And he's thinking about changing. So that's one that I'll have you read Thursday evening after class, before you come to class on Friday. And so I'll have some things for you to read like that. But I want you, in the 2 weeks that we have, okay, let me say this first. I fully believe some of you will be entrepreneurs, probably big entrepreneurs, just because of your education and your training. And I hope what I say these couple of weeks will help you get there, that you'll understand what is an entrepreneur and what you have to do. So that's the goal. Honestly, did not come to India to extend my resume. I kind of passed that in my career. I'm able to, my wife and I can live on our own, and it wasn't for the money. I hate to say that because I still want them to pay me. But I hope meeting you and make a difference in your lives would be my goal. All right. So with that said, we're going to go with the yellow screen. And
today we need to manage. Tomorrow we'll change it.
Tomorrow it'll be okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Professor, I would like to add on one thing. We have an MOU with National Entrepreneurship Network as well. And very soon we are going to start with the free online courses for students. We have ESIL here in the campus. And we are starting with the registration of that ESIL. So we are in a direct link with the entrepreneurship for a number of courses.
Oh, good. Okay.
The students also go and conduct activities in some different competitions that they are organizing in one or the other institutes or universities. That's it.
As an academic, I have run early on 2 different companies, and that were small. One was a non-governmental organization. In Mexico, I taught mainly in the entrepreneurship area of technology and working with students to help discover databases and so forth. And I was there for 7.5 years. I joined the Mexican National Research System in the Agave Business School, and I did a lot of research. And my research interests are highly interdisciplinary. Okay. They gave you the academic part. I want to show you a few personal slides of where I'm from and my family. So let me make sure I'm on. Okay. This is my wife. I was at a conference. It's a current picture. Her name is Phyllis. And that's a better picture of her. I think she would be shaking her head if she knew I was showing pictures of her in India. And I think most of you know that Texas is in the southern United States. You may associate cowboy hats and oil wells. I don't have an oil well. And then I'm from this part of the state. If you drew a line here, this is dry, west, flat Texas, cattle, plains, dust, wind, and then from this side over, it's very green, very beautiful, rolling hills, lots of trees, and I really like the area. It's very humid and warm like it is here, but that's where I am. Okay? I think this is in order. Picture of our campus. You can see a few of the trees, some of the students. It's a university. It's the University of Texas at Tyler system. And I worked there for 20 years before I went to Mexico. This is, we have 2 big lakes on campus. It's very pretty in that respect, and you can get out in a canoe and boat around. This is a real famous tower with about 56 bells. Oh, okay. I will. You want me to be still? Oh, okay. It's hard for me to sit and teach. Yeah. Except I may get tired and want to sit down. Okay, thank you. All right, here's another classroom building. They're currently building a new school of business, which I'm very happy about, the latest technology, screens, and so forth. This is an engineering building that's up to date. Here's another picture of the lake, a building across, some of the students. That's what we look like, the way we dress. We're probably about 40% African American and a large percent Hispanic, but I think the dominant is white, Caucasian. We have a little ballpark on campus, and our baseball team is award-winning on a national level. So that's it.
Jeff?
Any questions? There we go. Okay. Just got to hit my mouse harder. The Agave Business School is a national AACSB accredited school in Mexico, and it was a privilege to be a member of it and to be doing research with them. And I'm still part of that, even though I have moved back to the University of Texas at Tyler. Okay. I think they told the rest. Let me try this. Okay, we've talked about the course description. Would you all mind, it just changes the tone a little bit, to ask one of you to, to volunteer, and I'll ask you to read the words on the screen. And that, would any of you mind doing that?
Volunteer? He can.
Just to read?
Mike?
Thank you. Please.
Amit might do it.
Oh, I'll do this first. No, go ahead. I forget that this will be a MOOC course that we need to record everybody's voice. Okay, go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon sir, good afternoon friends. It's a course description. This course offers an opportunity for you to develop your insights and understanding about entrepreneurship. You will investigate startup cases to access their different business models. Our approach compares international, well-known startups with other major startups based in India.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and another part of this course is we'll ask what characteristics in entrepreneurship in this startup, what or who is an entrepreneur, what makes the enterprises successful, and we'll analyze various case studies to answer those questions. So class members will be involved, and we'll try to do this in teams in accessing company information. You all have your devices, and so I think we can do that. We'll learn about key directors and leaders. Can you name the leader of Amazon, for example?
Who's the leader of Amazon?
Can you name who's the chairman of Apple? Oh, we have to get familiar with this. Who's Jeff Bezos? Okay. Well, we'll figure all that out. But we'll identify mission and vision statements and analyze competitive information, because for a startup, you have to first begin with the competitive market, and you have to know who your competition is. And you may not care about Google and Apple, Amazon, but those are big industries in India, and can affect the market. My son Grant is an entrepreneur. He works for Federal Express or FedEx. He owns nine routes, I believe, and he has a manager. He has drivers of trucks. He owns a lot of capital trucks. But it's just like he's cut from a cloth made for entrepreneurs. He thinks like an entrepreneur. He has good business sense and intuition, and he's being very successful. And so FedEx, being a part of FedEx, is a possibility for an entrepreneur. Okay. Let's see. Here, we will project opportunities for the future, evaluate specific innovations that were found, gauge how the startup adapted to the competitive environment, and questions about the case will be discussed in class. All right, this is just strictly a review, and these are our 5 basic course objectives. And we've talked about these, some of the misconceptions about entrepreneurship and how we will define it, about the profile. Are entrepreneurs just smarter than other people? What about female entrepreneurs? I think we have 3 women that are part of this team only.
Kiran Majumdar Shaw.
So we will talk about this viewed through a historical lens, evaluate the profile, maybe explore major issues with successful entrepreneur, and again analyze current studies as we talked before. So that's today. So how many of you, is this Gendra? Tripathi, am I saying that right? Tripathi? Close? Okay. There was a 2016 article about entrepreneurship. He has several books on entrepreneurship. He's a business historian. But I want to cover these 5 themes quickly today. And they're from him in an interview. And then you need to know the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor. That is, it's mainly the U.S., the GEM report. And then we come down to what is an entrepreneur and what are characteristics. Okay, so here's entrepreneurship in India. And if I ask somebody to read, do they have to go to the microphone, or can I come over? Let me give you the microphone. Just read these 4 points about entrepreneurship. Go ahead, no, right
I have to read it.
Yeah.
First, we make several points about entrepreneurship in India. Recently, entrepreneurship has become a much talked about topic in India. It's looked at as a panacea, a cover-all of solution to all troubles. India seems to be on the radar of many nations and our companies in the world as a place for startup or for investments. Research on entrepreneurship in India is very low.
Okay. Do you all agree with this? Any points you want to add? But right now, it is a very important topic, and it's coming from the government level. And investors, I mean, sometimes billions of dollars are being invested in startups for entrepreneurship. Thank you. All right. Now, this is who he is. Born 29 July 30 in Uttar Pradesh, India. 52, he had a Bachelor of Arts, and I know some of you have English undergraduates, but Economics and English Literature. He had a Master of Arts from the University of, is that Allahabad? Okay. And then 1963, a PhD from the University of Wisconsin. But just later in life, he has made very large contributions to entrepreneurship. All right, so this guy named, this is his work experience first. 1954, Department of History and Political Science. 63, Indian Institute of Management. And 1990, the Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India. So that's his experience. He has a lot to say. Okay, and in the booklet that you have, will be the official article about him, so you can read that for more detail. These are 4 of his books. 1971, and it's the historical perspective. So then an integrated view of entrepreneurship, 1985, and in 92, India business houses and entrepreneurship, a note on research trends. Again, you will get all this information. And then finally, in 2004, he wrote the Oxford History of Indian business. So that's who he is. All right, so this is part of the interview. I've got his initials. I'm going to have you do a short activity right after this, okay? So be thinking about, we can get in groups of 3, but I want you to think about this quote to see if you agree. Or don't agree, you would add to it, or what you would do with it. If entrepreneurship is a manifestation of new, this is key here, new means ends, it's just a new beginning and a new end, like Uber, combinations, then the person who established the first ever textile mill in India is as much an entrepreneur as the person who started one in the UK 200 years earlier. And then we'll go to teams, okay? So, their exploits were different from the many other textile mills that came up in both UK and India subsequently. In my visualization, both are entrepreneurs, and so are the people who set up the textile mills in the United Kingdom, in India still later. The concept of hierarchy of entrepreneurship helps us mark the difference. And that's one of his concepts. He defines entrepreneurship as a hierarchy. It can be one end versus another end, as he'll explain it. This enables us to place all entrepreneurial acts on a continuum from the most innovative to the most, I repeated that, or even primitive. So you have a small worker who starts a new company and it grows and is successful. Is that person as much an entrepreneur as someone who just goes global with, within a few years? So that's what he means by hierarchy. This hierarchy of entrepreneurship. Okay? But what I would like you to do is just, it doesn't have to be 20 minutes because I don't think we have the time, but as a team to discuss whether you agree or disagree with this conceptualization and why. I want you to tell me why. What does manifestation of new means, ends, combinations mean? And then just be prepared to discuss your decision. We're taking the first step today to start thinking about what is entrepreneurship and conceptualization of it. I'd like you to have the very latest, the very best, and somebody uses the word entrepreneur somewhere, or you read about it in the Indian context. Okay? So let's take just a few minutes. My suggestion is that you organize yourselves into teams. But otherwise, you can just choose the three closest people. And I don't know the culture quite a bit, but what Dr. Kawara, what do you suggest as far as organizing into teams?
So I think there should be a heterogeneous group. So management, how many students are from management? Just raise your hands.
Okay.
Most. And cooperative is again management, and rework is again management. Anybody other from that?
So she's not letting you work with your friends, and that's good.
BSc?
Non-medical.
Non-medical. B-commerce. Yes, you? Okay. So better we will have a combination of one senior, one junior, one cooperative. That's it?
Okay.
Or others. So sit accordingly.
Okay. So let's organize yourselves then.
You yourself organize, yes? One cooperative person is sitting, you are from?
MBA first year. MBA first year.
MBA first year, second year? Yes, you Bibok, Sandeep, you Mandeep, you just get it from there. वहाँ पे ये Deepak, you go there. So that's how you have to make a team. First year, second year, and then one cooperative or some other.
And we will keep these teams for a few days, and then we may mix them.
Quickly arrange yourself. Quickly arrange yourself. Yeah.
Okay.
वो तीन की टीम हो गई फिर ये. Yes, Amar, you just move from there. Sukesh, you just hey, one from others. So Amar, you just move out here. You just join there.
First year student.
Yeah. Amar, you be on this side. Let him shift there.
Introduce yourselves and even give your contact
Abhishek, move.
information.
I should remain here.
How? Yes. That's the second team. This is third. One girl. Yes, you just come up and join us.
Okay. So at 3:40.
Join in that manner. कैसे भी join करो, but ये one junior, senior, one junior, one senior, one that cooperative or some other team. Arrange. Abhishek, you come on this side. Yes, you. BCom. आप आ सकते हो. BCom. आपको इधर. नहीं ये ठीक है. You are MBA first year. Second year तो ज़्यादा है, but this is what we. Yes, you get up and be with some of them. There. Second year. No. Amit. दो एक में कैसे हो सकते हैं? First year service. Yes, cooperative. That boy is from first year. हमारे पास है. He is from first year. What's your name? Pass out. Pass out. ठीक है. फिर तुम लोकेश, you are from other stream, you are from first year. Okay. तुम दो एक में कैसे हो गया?
First year.
ये फर्स्ट ईयर ना, इसको मोर तो एक ही हो गया. इधर आ. Tomorrow one person will join. Again, it's a Sunday. So, there are first year students. ठीक है, it's okay. So now you three people are in a team and you are two in a team. Third person will join tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for your patience. And I've looked at the clock, so anywhere between 3:45 and 3:50, I'll stop you as it looks like you're done. But I've left the quote up here on the screen, so just think about it, read it. Maybe I would prefer that of your three, one of you can decide this now to be the spokesperson. You will be the one who speaks. Okay, so decide who in your group will speak to the class. And then second, pick out someone who can write notes, maybe, of what's being said, if you need to do that. If you don't need to write notes, that's okay. But so, of your team, you need to select somebody who will speak to the class and present the ideas from the group, and then someone who can write it down if you have a lot of information.
See, in a group of three, one of you have to speak out about these 3 points which he has asked, and another one has to jot down the notes. Okay?
So decide that first, and then you can start. The leader can also help you decide what your position is on the topic. And so when I call on you, I'd like for the leader to say, "We agree." And most of you are going to say, "It depends," or we disagree. But so just be prepared to explain why. I'd like either agree or disagree, and then you explain why.
I think it's better if we start with how they define entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Because most of them are new to that too.
Let's do that. So so start with talking about entrepreneurship and see if you can write out a definition, and then I'll have you read the definition. Okay? Good.
What are the questions, Professor? Can we show the slide? Questions? Can we show the slide? The questions that we have asked for them. So you discuss among yourself as a team whether you agree or disagree with this conceptualization of entrepreneurship that which he has discussed, and why. If you agree or disagree, then why? Then what does manifestation of new means and combination mean? So you have to answer these three questions.
And write a definition of entrepreneurship.
What's the definition of entrepreneurship first? What do you mean by this conceptualization? Do you agree with this or not?
It's okay. Sometimes we don't say entrepreneurship is good in terms of what it is. It's really not a good way to critically assess this.
Yes.
Normally I get unsweetened tea, but it's because it has sugar. But since it has honey, I like the honey. Yeah. I don't have diabetes, doctors don't eat oil or, no health problems. I just try to not eat refined sugar. Honey is okay.
Health conscious.
Oh, thank you. I was talking over FaceTime this morning. She's retired too. She's retired. She has, when we were in Mexico, she is English, second language, ESL teacher. And she taught classes at the technical level. And then she started doing it one-on-one, just with someone individually, coaching. Exactly. In fact, her one student for 2 years was the former mayor of our city and the governor of the state.
Yes.
We need to reread the statement.
Abhishek, show the previous slide. Yeah, this is the definition. Just go through it, revise it. First you write what you think of an entrepreneur, then you go through this definition and think whether you agree with this thing or not, and then what you exactly mean by that. Okay? Good. You are three in a team, write together.
So you had a freshman get with a junior and a senior, or how did you work?
No, actually that is some of them are from first year, some of them are from final year. So I wrote them. One management, one sales, one others. So that they will be introduced with. So that they will also learn with what their seniors are learning and benefit it.
You mentioned that it's a possible idea earlier. Sources, most of what quotes from most of the information that I know was from the journal, ENTREPRENEURSHIP, and this interview was published in the journal. I have a couple of questions here that are called entrepreneur. It is like a social, and it's a survey of entrepreneurship. And I want to do tomorrow's print and give everybody a copy. Oh no, that was something different. That's about education and entrepreneurship. Should universities be engaged in entrepreneurship?
That's what I said. So they had an idea of this. Then there's work and then we did the organization.
Now, this will be a finance activity to think about it first, and then we'll start.
So are you prepared? You have to discuss in a group of yours.
Now, 5 minutes, five more minutes max.
5 minutes left.
And this is where you serve. I love it. How did you manage to hire you?
Excuse me, can you get the next slide?
Abhishek, go for the next slide.
Yes.
बीच में आ जाओ अमृत यहाँ पे। So shall we start? Where's mine?
Okay. Well, let me stop you if you're may not be completely finished, but I'd like to start up at this end up here and just go down to each team and whoever you appointed to be the leader.
They're requesting you to start from there.
Oh, from here?
Or you can start from there. No issue.
Okay, I will. All right. So, is it all right with you all? Okay, they're ready. Go ahead.
Hello. First, it was that what is entrepreneurship? Well, it tells us the new ideas, new ways or methods that can be considered or analyzed and used in starting up a new business, and also various technologies that need to be used. It should be all decided that what is our capital budget and all the technologies and the things we are used, it should be come under it so that we can start a business and we will call it an entrepreneurship. So the first question is that whether you agree or disagree with the consideration of entrepreneurship that was discussed in the previous slide. Of course, yes, because what he was saying that entrepreneurship is that starting up a new business, whether it will be new ideas or or some other ideas. When it was started, the mill was started 200 years early. So obviously he has used some technologies that was available at that time. So the ideas that have come to the person's mind will be of course of that time the situations or the raw materials that was available at that time. And now after the 200 years or 300 years, when some other is going to start up the same business, then obviously it will be another. He will not using the same technology that was used 200 years earlier. So he will be using the new technologies and the new ideas or some new things. So it's also an entrepreneurship on him because he's using some new technology and new ideas. Now, what does the manifestation of new mean and combination means? Well, according to us, what we decided that it means that it will be a clear idea of that what the end product should be and how it should be achieved.
Okay. Any comments? So they agree, and it can be a hierarchy. I heard you saying from small or very big, with the new means and relationships.
New means, or it can be anything that different means. For primitive, it will be some other old technologies, and when it will be innovative, it will be some new technologies. And yes, it will be more increasing. It will be advanced. Every time we will start the same business with some another ideas, it will be innovative.
Okay.
Mike.
I agree with you. All right. That's
Thank you.
एक तो खराब है एक सही.
Well, our team, what we have decided is that we agree with the statement of DT that the conceptualization of we agree with the term that conceptualization of entrepreneurship is different. Right, 200 years ago, when in England textile mills were established, economical conditions were different, atmosphere were different, political conditions were different, technology, actually the technology used in textile mills were different. So when the same industry was established in India after 200 years, the conditions were different, political, economical, technical. So we can say that that person who started textile mill in India was also an entrepreneur, because everything was different. And the second question asked here, manifestation of new means, right? It means that ends combination. We can take an example of anything, like how election were fought 60 years back. Political leaders used to do campaigns, used to do rallies, but now they are focusing on social media and all. So manifestation of new ideas, manifestation of new means, ends combination. It is all that differ in technology. Difference in technology, ends combinations. Different in economical.
Maybe need and demand of the time as well.
Demand, yes. It's all things.
So you would add new technologies.
He said new dimensions to the existing things, like new means and new ways of defining the things, publicizing the things. Things are changing. That is what he means from new means and combination.
Okay, is that correct? What do you say? Okay. All right, good.
Jot down the things. जो आप बोल रहे हैं वो लिखें.
Firstly, the entrepreneurship means the willingness to take the risks and be innovative for starting up a new business. And we disagree with the conceptualization. The thing is that in UK that was the innovation started in the 200 years before. That was the entrepreneurship, and in India after the 200 years after, it was only a business. He was only a businessman.
Okay.
So what's the definition of entrepreneurship in your mind?
It was the willingness to take risks and be innovative to start up a business.
So you mean to say that the one who is doing in India is copying that?
Yeah.
Or he's already known
The
something?
idea was just copy.
So imitative style of entrepreneurship?
What?
It is an imitative style of entrepreneurship if he has copied, even though he is not, because circumstances are different.
Yeah, then it is okay. But the innovation, in the case of innovation, I am talking that it was an imitation. That
So only innovative people are entrepreneurs, according to you.
If something is copied, then we can do better than the using.
So that's again an imitative style of entrepreneurship. Jugaad, you know. So it's again an entrepreneurial approach. Yeah.
Whatever you want to say,
Okay, but let me just clarify to restate what you said. With Topati's argument about the textile that happened in the UK 200 years early and it was copied here in India 200 years later, so that person is an entrepreneur. He agrees with that.
That's
Okay.
not an entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
For me and my group also, entrepreneurship is a result of the entrepreneur's dreams and all the efforts which he had done for fulfilling his dream. And my group is also agree with the conceptualization of entrepreneurship, as at that time in UK that was his dream to become an entrepreneur. But after 200 years in India, an Indian has come to the
Take your time, it's okay.
yeah. Can I go to manifestation of human性?
Previous slide?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Be louder.
No. Yeah. In UK,
No issue. No issue. Yeah, next.
So did you agree or disagree?
we are totally agree.
Totally agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next.
We are also agree this statement because the thing or condition is changed at the time of opening of textile mine in UK, but at this time the person opening of textile mine in India as an entrepreneurship because new technology or some change are also coming this time.
Okay. So we've got agrees and one disagrees. All right, let's pass that on down.
Agree.
Okay.
बोलो भाई लोकेश say something go ahead first year students हो गए जो whatever you feel like say something
Next group, no issue. Next group.
Yeah. Are you all with the same group?
As per our group, entrepreneurship is the process of designing any idea into a practical process. Entrepreneur, the person who initiated for any task is an entrepreneur, and he is also a risk taker. If he takes any wrong decision, he will be in a massive risk for it. And any person who have an initiative for a work, he will start from a small business. So as per our group, as per my group, it's an entrepreneurship is a small process to take an initiative, and we all are agree from the conceptualization of entrepreneurship because any person is starting any business and he will be follow the process and he will be motivated from the concepts which have been taken before 200 years ago in the UK. So we are going to agree from the concept of the entrepreneurship. And the term manifestation of new means and ends combination is a true form. If any person starting any business, he will be started in a small form or a big form, and he will be a partnership form in anything else. But any other person also may start the same with different views at a different level. So it's a both different for them. So it's an we are definitely agree from the manifestation of the new means and ends combination.
All right, it's good to hear your thoughts. Did we have one group pass? Or did everybody speak? Oh, okay. This group passed? Okay. Well, we get one pass, so you have to contribute next time. Okay, I'm saying that with a little humor. You know, in a board game or something, you can pass one time. All right. So, all right. Well, listen. That is really an introduction, and new means end was probably a strange word or strange type of wording. But I would like to go. If you have another question or want to add something, now would be the time. But I want to go through these 5 themes or 5 lines that entrepreneurship of India's history. And we'll briefly talk about those. But does anyone else have anything they want to add? Okay, well let's move on. And the first theme is entrepreneurship and business history. And R.K. Shankar was the author of this article. It was in the Journal of Entrepreneurship. You will get a copy of this in your booklet in 2016. But here's what he asked, and I'll just refer to him as DT. He said, Goswami has found that Indian businessmen in eastern India grew even during the British rule. You, Tripathi 1971, wrote, and in 2004, have also repeatedly stated that a number of businessmen thrived during colonialism. While popular wisdom blames colonialism for marginalization of entrepreneurship, that means to put it over to the side. In Indian society, there seems to be a number of positives too. Can you bring a more balanced view to this and suggest future areas that can be explored? Well, here's what his reply was. He said, whether it is I, that's good grammar, or any other historian, one must concede that Indian business transformed itself during the colonial rule. What would have happened without colonialism cannot be understood because the course of history cannot be rerun. We just can't repeat it. It happened, it's there, it impacted where we are today. While I do not support or rationalize colonialism, I believe that Indian businesses may not be what they are today if we did not interact with colonialism. And I wondered what he meant by being what they are today, whether positive or negative. Cotton mills in the United States used stolen drawings to develop their machinery at the early stages. Because of colonial connections, we do not have to at least steal technology and drawings to set up our textile mills. So that's a positive for India, a negative for the U.S. that's stealing those drawings. Okay? Anyone wish to comment on that first thing? He's put in entrepreneurship and business history, and he addressed the historical formulas. Okay, the second one is context. Indian entrepreneurship and context. Shankar asked, India is inherently multicultural. I didn't know how multicultural you are until I've arrived and been learning about that. But how does this variety impact growth of entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship in Silicon Valley in the U.S. is very different than Siliguri. And where is that located?
What is?
Siliguri.
Siliguri is a place in one of the state, Assam state.
Eastern India.
Okay. Up from the
Heavy rainfall.
Okay. So then DT replies that India is multicultural is a truism. The behavior of the youth in a tribal region is bound to be vastly different from that of the IIMA graduate. Social differences as well as cultural differences abound in this country. While this makes India a mystery and keeps us curious all through life, it also means economic manifestations will be different across regions. And we can interpret here entrepreneurship. But culture is not static. It changes with time and space. While it is widely believed that culture impacts history, the vice versa is also true. In fact, culture and history move together. They act on each other. Culture adjusts itself to the real urges of its people. So it's shaping and moving and all of that. And we can't, in this course, just set an exact path because where you're from, which state, what technologies you're used to will all form your idea of entrepreneurship or what you will eventually go into as an entrepreneur.
I have a submission here. If we take an example of a Gujarat state of India, the people are very good in different varieties of food, ready-to-eat food. And this is from where the concept of ready-to-eat food like khaman, dokla and other things have come into a play. So that's again a space which has come out because of cultural differences and give an opportunity for an entrepreneur to start that business. So that could be one of the way through which this multiculturalism is leading to entrepreneurship.
Right, that's a good example. Excuse me. Okay, let's look at the political context. And his question was, the lack of political unity has always been the bane of Indian history. That's what Tripathi wrote, and so Shankar is repeating What has changed over the past 4 decades? Can politics be a factor in influencing entrepreneurship? Certainly, government regulations and the context play a big role there. So the way DT answers, if one compared the India of the 1950s or 1960s and that of today, there are drastic differences. And this is one of them. Self-employment earlier was not an easy occupational choice for the youth in the 1950s and 60s. But today, an increasingly larger number of graduates are setting up their own ventures. While there is still a long way to go for political systems to allow manifestations of entrepreneurial visions, we must acknowledge that we have come a long way. Politics is only one of the forces in the constellation affecting occupational choices. What do you think about that? Would you like to comment? Drew? Okay. Anybody disagree? You know that better than I.
Yeah, in fact, the government has taken a lot of initiative presently for entrepreneurial perspectives and individuals to come out as an entrepreneur. A lot of funding scheme, bank supports, training supports. So many lot of activities are there which are supporting an individual to move into these type of entrepreneurial ventures.
Right. And there's a good report that we will talk about later on. It's called Doing Business. And if you pick your country, doing business in India, doing business in the United States, doing business in Mexico.
Skill India is a concept which is given away to other people for moving towards an employment.
Right. And
there should be a modification in last line, I guess.
What is?
Politics
is only one of the major, not only, major forces. Because
In
it's
India.
okay,
in India,
major
force.
major forces.
Because if, as we know, in era of communist government, in Indira Gandhi's government,
Major forces
everything.
are barrier. You talk more barrier or forces?
the force for
That's right.
I just want to ask, you're talking about is major barrier, you want to say?
Force that can be used in
No, it is not. It is not one of the major forces. Education, I think, is one of the major forces. So it is only one of the forces. You know, it is we who are motivating you to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
They are just providing a one-hand support, that is financing and all other things. But if as an individual you are educated and you know the ways to get the funding and all other things and support, you need not to look at the political supports at all.
the same I am saying that maybe political
It is one of-
is our
it is
government
one of-
is not supporting us.
It is.
The government is supporting.
And
It's
at
supporting
present
now.
it is.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
present it is. But if intention of government changes, then
Definitely. So you support them.
then there is.
Okay, it is, maybe we could say significant. I know in doing business reports that some countries it takes 2 to 3 weeks to start a new business. I mean, to sign all the paperwork, get the legal approval. Other countries it'll take a year and a half, and I think India falls on that latter end. And so when the process is just incredibly long and complicated and not easy to know what to do, that makes it difficult to become an entrepreneur. But if you can start it up, it's clear within just a few weeks, that really helps. And we will cover some of that report later. All right. And so this is about education. RK Shankar asks, do you think business history should be a part of entrepreneurship education? It's like if you don't remember the past, you're doomed to repeat the same mistakes in the future. That's a truism. And so what DT says, I see 2 clear benefits. One, it can change the mindset of the student since he or she learns how others did it. That's very important for this class because you're going to learn what others do. It's not just luck. It's not just if you have money, but you have to know how to do it. And it may remove the great man syndrome from the entrepreneurial scene, meaning you have to be someone very well known in order to start an entrepreneurial venture. The accounts of actual entrepreneurial exploits make the action look real and possible. Part of this class. More important, business history would expose the students to structures and strategies adopted by entrepreneurial firms in the past and this may broaden your thinking. I hope it does that. So, Dr. Kanwar agreed. There's a colleague of mine who is a professor in Malaysia. She teaches at a technology institute in Kuala Lumpur, the Malaysian Institute of Technology. She had a survey that she gave to business students about the need for entrepreneurial education. And so we're going to administer that probably on Wednesday or Thursday. We'll ask you to fill out that survey just to give some information. Okay? And, okay, I'm going to skip this activity. I wanted you to write a description of the entrepreneurial culture that exists in the Delhi area, including these states. And but I would like to invite you to comment verbally. Just make a brief verbal comment. I'll give you the microphone. Just what it's like around Delhi.
No, in fact, you can ask them because these students are from different states. So if you'll ask them about the entrepreneurial culture in their state, it would be a wonderful exercise.
Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to ask you to do something. Okay?
You ask everybody because some of them are from different cultures and they are from different states, and those cultures, some of the cultures are basically dominating for this entrepreneurship, others are away from it. So they have different.
I want to start down at that end and say your name and the name of the state, and I'd like you to count the different states. Okay?
Tell your name, the name of your state, and what sort of entrepreneurial culture do you have.
Yes.
I hope you are clear with the terminology. कैसे तुम लोगों के बिजनेस को बढ़ावा मिलता है, जैसे फैमिली फॉर एग्जांपल, मतलब जैसे तुम्हारे पेरेंट्स चाहते हैं कि तुम बिजनेस में ही आओ या उसी फैमिली बिजनेस को आगे बढ़ाओ, या कुछ के घर में इस तरीके का एनवायरनमेंट होता है या कुछ के घर में उस तरीके का एनवायरनमेंट नहीं होता है. सो बेस्ड ऑन स्टेट, डोंट बेस्ड ऑन योर फैमिली कल्चर, द कल्चर इन्वॉल्विंग द स्टेट एज अ होल. या
Amit Kumar, I am from Haryana.
This state.
Haryana state.
So, what is an entrepreneurial culture here?
All right. I want to know how many different states. I'm asking him to count how many.
29.
I mean, in this representative class.
Oh, here, that we'll see. We'll see, we'll listen to all of them. That belonging to the same state, what is their mindset?
Yeah.
That we listen it from
Okay.
them. Yeah.
So say the name of the state again for me.
Now, state.
Amit Kumar from Haryana. The same district.
Okay.
Same.
Okay. If you'll pass the microphone on down.
What sort of entrepreneurial culture do your state is having?
Okay.
किस तरीके के entrepreneurs हैं यहाँ पर? हरियाणा as a whole.
Here basically a village area. So to live Gurgaon, a small district of Haryana. To live the Gurgaon, every city of the Haryana is a village type of entrepreneurs normally. And from the it is combined with the agriculture department only.
Agriculture entrepreneurs are there.
मैम ओनली बेसिकली
दुकानदार entrepreneur है.
मैम बेसिकली तो मैम मतलब कि हरियाणा
Family business they are running or more people are into this? सोच के बोलो. You all have an answer. Yeah.
Myself Siddharth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Siddharth from Haryana state. Yeah. I think in Haryana mainly sole proprietorship or family business is there. We are very secure in nature. We don't even think that somebody came from outside and do partnership with us. We are like. Sorry.
बोलो जो problem तो हिंदी में बोलो. Translation.
मैम हम लोग सोचते हैं कि अगर कोई बाहर से बंदा आया पार्टनरशिप करी हमने तो हम रिस्क में आ जाएंगे. He will.
So you would like to avoid the risk. So you would like to continue with your own family members as a business partners.
अगर हम कंपनी भी शुरू करते हैं तो हम प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी शुरू करना चाहेंगे बिकॉज हम अगर मेंबर्स भी चुने तो हम फैमिली से चुन के हम कंपनी शुरू कर सकते हैं.
Okay. So according to you, people feel more secure when they have a member from their own family and would like to start with a private limited sort of companies.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
I am Alok from Uttar Pradesh, Banaras.
Near to Allahabad, the first entrepreneur. Yeah.
Culture of entrepreneurship is much grown from earlier because government of India has started Skill India and other things which promote entrepreneurs to start their business. But earlier that the people who are less likely to start their own business.
So nowadays more entrepreneurs are coming out in your city. Okay.
When the government has promoted.
What sort of entrepreneurs are there? Weavers or somewhat different? Weavers, बुनकर. और कोई अलग तरीके की entrepreneurship पे लोग जिसमें जाना चाहते हैं? कोई और बिजनेस नहीं, उद्योग धंधा कुछ भी होता है? कोई नहीं. सही गलत कुछ नहीं. Just speak so that others will listen and they will reply to you. Okay.
I am Amal from Kerala, the southernmost state of India. Kerala is basically concentrated on the service sector. Government itself encourages the service sector entrepreneurship also, and it is mainly on tourism, Ayurveda medicine, therapy, and we can see the entrepreneurship in hotel, restaurants also. And in IT sector also, Kerala is one of the best in India. We can see many small startups in IT sector.
My name is Mukesh. I am from Haryana. Maybe people don't have so much courage to do something different. They always choose to worry to start new businesses because of fear of failures. They think that we will get something will happen wrong if we go for this business, right? So they feel secure that we should go for our family business and enhance only that only. And we have so many opportunities in our areas, especially in education, like coaching centers, schools, and even for physical fitness centers. So, but the same thing is there in front of all the peoples that just it is very difficult to do something different apart from family business.
Hello, sir. I am Sarita. I am from Bihar state. You can find very hardly industry in Bihar, a big industry. So there is a so small startups and the business. It's basically tourist place. So you can find a number of hotels there, chains of hotels, and one of the most very much growing sector of entrepreneurship, that is the Madhubani painting. That are from Bihar, and the Bihar government initiated, and it's become a very huge success, and now we are selling this as an international level. So it's just like a cooperative society we are developed there. Small cooperative society in villages, they are doing paintings and they sell international level. And another thing, education sector is booming in Bihar. For example, coaching, you can find n numbers of coaching in Patna, that is the capital of Bihar. And schools, you can find n numbers of schools there. And the very small shops, you can find n number of shops. You hardly find big malls there. You can't find big malls. We have very small shops for each sector, just like a general store, stationery store, cycle store, different. But you hardly find all those things in one building. That is not their culture. Thank you.
Well, myself Mandeep from this is my home state, Haryana. As my friend said, first of all, he said that Haryana is basically agriculture-based economy, agriculture-based state, and I think that same, that in each and every city you will find coaching centers, tuition centers for various exams. As madam said, small shops, you can say, for, in general, we can, basic needs. So there is nothing like startup and entrepreneurship because we are connected with the agricultural field.
Property construction.
That is, जिसको हम बोल सकते हैं most भी business है हम बोलो, जैसे property dealers होते हैं जो now property market is down, so you can see that every property dealer shop is shut down. So the change you are asking, I think we should focus on strong area. Strong area of Haryana is agriculture, and entrepreneurs, future entrepreneurs should invest their mind, their energy towards agriculture only, like organic wheat we should produce, that is in demand at international level. Organic wheat, organic fruits, and once I hear about it that near Gurgaon somebody is producing organic ice creams, and they are export in foreign, in European countries. So this is, I think, very great idea and world-class exposure.
So I think some more entrepreneurs will come out with their different ideas.
And in field of agriculture we should work on, because that is our strength, that is strength of Haryana. So, thank you.
Hello, my name is Deepak. I am from Uttar Pradesh. Earlier it was basically a family background business, but nowadays it was a technological advancement. Urban areas having more number of entrepreneurs like IT, more of the new ideas, new initiative, new technology will introduce, and number of entrepreneurs are from IT sector. Like they start their own BPOs, KPOs and ITES sectors. And if I am talking about the rural areas, they are having more focusing on manufacturing, food manufacturing. Many number of factories, manufacturing units are presently working and good revenue also generated from manufacturing sectors. Thank you.
Hello friends, my name is Sandeep and I am from Jammu and Kashmir. You must have heard of this name, Sir Kashmir, already.
Right now it's in news.
So in Jammu and Kashmir, basically you know that the state is not uniform at all. So it has different regions, and the climates also vary from place to place in the state. First I will talk about the Kashmir and then later I will to Jammu. In the Kashmir part of region, there is sometimes some tensions prevail there. So people from outside India don't take so much interest in starting an entrepreneurship there. And the people there are also interested in the tourism because it's famous for tourism. And they will start the transportation or tourism in that part of our state. And now talking about the Jammu state, and the people are interested in small businesses. Because of some political laws and regulations, people from outside cannot start their businesses here, and so there is a lack of knowledge in our state also about these things. People don't have so much exposure about these things, and they are confined to the small business scales like some shops. And nowadays it has been started, some malls have also been constructed there, and the educational, tourism, all these things are mainly placed in our state. And basically what happens that when in our state people go for higher education and they start working in any firm or corporate sector, either engineers or MBAs, and if someone is interested in medical and he chooses the profession, and they are less interested in the entrepreneurship because as I told, because there is no exposure, much exposure. But nowadays when the people are going outside and they are learning skills, so they have started building some entrepreneurship in our state, and it is going a little bit a lower rate right now, but I hope it will make a big good later.
Hello, my name is Abhishek Gupta. I am from Haryana. In Haryana, most people refers to family business. Most people refers family business.
Especially the culture to which he belongs.
Yes, sir. And education system is also very good in Haryana. There are many colleges, schools and universities also. And mathematics is also very good in education system. And education is
Hello, myself Nikita and I'm from Rajasthan. Rajasthan is a place holding a fine amount of area of India. So in Rajasthan there are many cultures followed and entrepreneurs. There's family background, like they are following the joint family business and someone holding an industrial. And there is also a fine level of education system there. There are persons who like to be start like a food sector of the Rajasthani food, which we call it. So people usually which they come from outside of India and from the outside states, including India, they used to prefer to eat food of same state which they are visiting there. So people used to holding a section of the food sector also. And there is also many places to be visited. So people usually do involved in the tourism sector. So it's an almost covering lots of sections of entrepreneurship, family business, like joint company, industrial sector, education sector. There are lots of numbers of entrepreneurs can be founded there.
Myself, Sachin Agarwal from Haryana state. In our area, we can say it the business culture, not entrepreneurship culture, because people start business according to earn money. Their main motto is how to earn a lot of money, not to innovate something or to make things easier. And the process of starting the business in our area is first they find out the person who is earn more in our surrounding. Then they think what kind of business he is in it, what kind of business he is in it. Then they start same kind of business, and they don't think whether they get loss or profit.
Hi, I'm Lokesh from Haryana. As you know that inside of Haryana, there is city in Gurgaon. It's known as Cyber City also. And if anyone start with IT business, and this is a good place for them, for IT business, IT service.
Myself, Vikas from Haryana state, mostly in Mandara district. I say something about rural and urban area. In rural area, mostly Mandara district, in Mandara district, people are running towards agriculture because they earn their needs from this industry. But in Gurgaon side, mostly people are running towards business because they have thinking about this. But in rural areas, somebody fears from new business starts. People mostly in my area, people work in agriculture. That gives their needs, but no more, because they don't know more about new business that's we call internship.
Entrepreneurship.
That's
Hello sir, my name is Vivek, I am from Haryana state. In my state, most of the youth wants to be part of government service because sense of security, they want in government service. once you are in the government service, you are secure and secure. People thought that in my state. So I think in my state, small entrepreneurship are there in the Gurgaon region. People want that something their own business. Small entrepreneurship.
Okay.
I am Sonu Kumar, also from Haryana. In Haryana, basically depends on agriculture business. In agriculture, there are different type of mills, crop mills, oil mills. Secondly, education system also growing in Haryana. Large number of school or college set up in Haryana. Hotel and restaurant also more number of in Haryana. They are basically popular with Haryanvi food. And a latest idea I see in my city, Mahendragarh. Someone start online tea business. They take order from mobile call and supply the tea within 5 or 10 minutes.
Hello sir, my name is Abhilash from Jammu and Kashmir. In Jammu and Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir is famous for its tourism, and Jammu is also called the city of temples. But students are trying to go in the private sector, but there is no private company in the Jammu and Kashmir, and most of the students goes in the government sector. But now till today, Government of India started a campaign in Jammu and Kashmir called Udaan, and many students are from Jammu and Kashmir apply for the Udaan and go for getting the information about the private sectors. So now
Entrepreneurship is not at home. Give mic to me.
Hello everybody. Now I'd like to conclude about what other people have said. Basically in India we have 29 states, and all of the states are having their own specialty. Either it's regarding tourism, food, culture, colors, dresses, maybe weaving or something. Almost all the states are known for their tourism. So one portion that you will find number of people who are coming up with their tourism entrepreneurship, like places like Haridwar, Rishikesh, beautiful seaside places where people are starting their own business of tour and travel packages and all. That's one part of business. Secondly, there are certain states which are very good in their food, like Gujarat, Rajasthan, maybe South for some specialty, Punjab for some spicy food. So those sort of restaurants and hotels are also working throughout the country, and maybe some easy to cook food of Gujarat, which is nowadays available all over the country. So those people have started with that business. Mahendragarh is also having one specialty in terms of food, not in terms of food but sweets. It's very good in sweets. So the sweet of Mahendragarh is really appreciable. So in these terms, I can say that almost all of the state of India is having all businesses, some at the height, some at the low. If you take an example of the South, they have special coconut chips, they have special banana chips. So that's how people will start their own business. And nowadays it is online working in international markets also. And you'll be surprised to know even the cow dung cake is also marketed internationally through online and all. So people are finding a way. Yes, of course, people would like to go into a safe business. Until this time, it was a mentality of the people that they would like to look for a government jobs. But now this mentality is changing because there are no more government jobs and private jobs are not secure. So definitely they are forced to think in the term that they need to start with something. They have to come up with their own ideas because we have an idea. We have a lot of idea from early in the morning till night. And now government has supported us, and we, those who are ready to take risk or have a gut to come out or to prove themselves, would like to change those ideas. Indians are basically very famous for jugaad type of technology. They are expert in thinking and giving a shape to it, maybe with low cost. And that's why nowadays we are coming out with space technology, low cost space technology in-house also. So there are lot many businesses. What is important and required is that we should have that motivation among the newcomers, and to make them aware about the government schemes, supportive functions, and all such things. And that's what you have mentioned about the culture. Yes, of course, culture plays a very important role in this entrepreneurial outcome, because there is a particular community which believes in family businesses. There are certain community, and they don't want their child to move into jobs, even though the students or their child are highly educated, but they don't allow them to move. That's a community belong to that guy. And there are communities like Haryana people, they are very rich in money, but they are not that much knowledgeable and ready to take risks. So they would like to be more into property business, construction business, and nowadays they have started with some new sort of networking business, that if you are looking for a house in a community, they go for some agreements and then can provide it to you. So these are all networking sort of businesses are also coming up at time. Yeah, in a state also there is a difference from place to place. For example, the boy said about Gurgaon, you can find all sort of entrepreneurs. In Mahendragarh, you are looking for an entrepreneur related to agriculture only. If you move some internal area, maybe you find a people with some small ideas doing a good business. And nowadays we are supporting people in the rural area to come up with cooperative business as well, which is again an entrepreneurial perspective. So that's how we are very rich in our culture and our entrepreneurial perspective. Thank you.
Okay, thank each of you. Some really good stories came out of that were helpful. I do have a question. The honey that I had in the tea, is it locally sourced?
Yeah, a very, very good question. Yeah, answer? Honey? Earlier there are MNCs which are working in a country. Nowadays we have our own production which is competing with the MNCs. And honey we are forming hereby in the nearby villages in farms also. Apiculture is easily done anywhere else.
Yeah. Okay.
The government is supporting for that. They use the money, and even the apprentice also they can use.
To go for honey collection and all. Patanjali products are, a huge range of Patanjali products are an example to it.
Yeah. Well, good. All right. There are local health benefits to allergies from local honey, and you probably heard that. All right. Just a couple of things. I appreciate each of you talking. I've had to talk. English is my first language. And I know for all of you, as you were speaking in English, you grew up learning a language, another language. It's difficult to have to talk in a second language. And it's hard, and you have to think about the words sometimes. And that's happened with me in Spanish. I pause. And people are getting bored because I'm trying to think of the right word to say. So we're in a global society. It benefits you to practice. And I can say that for real, not like a father or a grandfather in many instances saying that that's good for you. But keep trying to speak in English, and that will help. But thank you for your comments. Okay, let's go to the next theme. And remember there were 5, and this was caste and entrepreneurship. And so RS asking, it's a very sensitive topic in India. While its origin and development has been debated for a long time, discussion of its impact on economic development in general, entrepreneurship in particular, is recent. And there appears to be a lot of discussion now about this caste influence entrepreneurship. So, does caste still matter in India, he's asking, except limited work from a few researchers at Harvard Business School. There is scant very little, just tiny, literature on this subject. Should historians and entrepreneur scholarships explore it? Does it matter? Okay. Caste and religion always has and it should have an impact on human beings. Caste, being a social institution, is one of the critical elements in the constellation. Its impact on individuals may vary based on their birth, education, social upbringing. We must also acknowledge that people's attitude to caste changes over time as one gets more educated or more exposed to outer influences. Whatever the case, studies in Indian entrepreneurial behavior cannot ignore the impact of caste. So you may want to comment on that today. It may be a sensitive topic, but you may want to say, do people's attitudes really change over time as one gets more educated? As you learn more or are exposed to more people and interact with different people, does that change your attitude? So anyone wish to comment?
It depends on time to time that how people are getting knowledge and in which societies, in which environment they are living. Because we still can have so many examples, I won't take names, that people are well educated but they are still supporting that caste system. This is the big hurdle in the I can say in this technology, because even such a liberated person with such good degrees, where people are talking such things that literally don't help, and it will give a not at all a good knowledge to the young ones who are following them, because they think